Hello, and thank you for joining me. A special thank you to the Hyper Games conference team who have put together such a fantastic event. It should come as no surprise that smart game makers are taking steps right now to evolve the business model for their games. They have to. The traditional churn and burn, which many hyper games makers have relied on in the past, is simply not sustainable, and market forces are dictating change. The good news is there is a much better way to retain players longer while optimizing the revenue for every game. I'm Nicholas Longano, the CEO and founder of Scuti. I've been in the games business as both a publisher and developer for over 22 years now. I've had the privilege of working with Blizzard, Valve, Universal Interactive, and was president of the in-game advertising company, Massive. Our team members are the C-suite of some of the biggest game publishers on the planet, and they've created and launched mega franchises, including World of Warcraft, Fortnite, Diablo, Halo, just to name a few. Together, we've built a better way for every game maker to retain players longer and monetize any game more effectively. Any game, premium or free to play. So today, I'm going to guarantee everyone an increase in their revenue by at least 25% through a better way that has been market tested and player approved for the past year now. Most hyper games chase dollars at the detriment of player experience. They're engaged in a sprint against time to monetize quickly before players lose interest in their games. But many times they may have a good game, and it's not that their players are tired of it, but rather they're creating attrition through the manner they monetize, losing players faster than they can replace them. And in a market where the cost per install continues to increase, that's just not smart business. We believe it's only going to get more challenging for game makers. First, from the ad constraints and restrictions by the platform owners. Now, as a player, I'm happy for these restrictions as they are designed to protect the sanctity of my privacy and that of all players. And that's a good thing. Players don't want to be tracked. They don't want to be tricked into clicking buttons which eject them from their game. Players deserve better, and game makers deserve a better system. There is a better way to do advertising in games. Second, the global recession. Inflation compresses the value of every dollar, and it's going to impact the discretionary spending of every player. If they have to choose between filling their car with gas or buying a skin in the game, I think that decision is pretty easy for them to make. Game spending gets set aside. That means less revenues for game makers reliant on in-game purchases. But again, there is a better way to fuel in-game purchases. And then third, economic conditions are forcing advertisers to focus on performance. Games which can't show an ROI for brands are going to have their spending cut. That puts less money into your pocket if you rely on advertising. But again, there is a better way to attract top ad dollars. And that better way is just a simple 1-hour integration of a one-stop platform which will help evolve your games into the next generation of monetization and retention and actually improve your players' experience. And that better way, well, that's Scuti. Every game maker, any game, any genre, any platform can now optimize their revenue. They can make players happier, they can retain them longer, and they can acquire even more of them. Scuti is the world's first gCommerce and rewards platform. It's the way that game makers are adding a brand new revenue stream to their games, capitalizing on the one thing that all players do, and that's shop. And while all players do not engage in in-game purchases, they certainly all shop. Online shopping is a $5 trillion business. That's almost 30 times the size of the entire video gaming industry. The ads which run through games today are designed to eject your player from their game experience and convert them to shop on someone else's site. You don't get a penny on that transaction, not a cent, other than a low cost per click and a prayer in the hope that the player returns to your game. Now, with Scuti, it all takes place from your game lobby. Your players get to shop curated products, they earn rewards, and they use those rewards to spend in your game or buy more products. We call that play to own, not play to earn, play to own. And it's a better way. For the first time, you're making money from gCommerce, commerce through games, and your players are rewarded with every engagement. And when they close out a Scuti, they're back in the game lobby. They never left. And everybody knows the rewards drive loyalty. Players earn rewards every time they purchase a product or engage with an ad served by Scuti. Now, those rewards can be used to purchase physical products from the Scuti store, or they can be exchanged for in-game currency, purchase digital items in your games, or even used to fuel peer-to-peer wagering. And we're doing that. Rewards work and your players love them. We see almost 20% of daily active users returning to the store through their games to collect their Scutis every single day. That's proof of retention. Sometimes they launch their games and access Scuti without even playing. They want their rewards. And we're happy to give them, because every time they launch Scuti from your game, we make money for you, whether the player shops or not. Your cost per install is also increasing. It's another challenge. So while it's important for rewards to help with retention, Scuti also works for user acquisition. It's a complete ecosystem. Every game, which is part of the Scuti network, is promoted to players through their dashboard. Players want to find games to spend their earned Scuti bucks on, Scutis. Game makers can showcase their entire portfolio and migrate players across their catalog of games. This is the most effective way to acquire new players, and it's free. You don't hear that word very often these days. But we didn't stop there. About a year ago, a group of game developers came to us to help evolve their ad systems. They didn't like what they had. After all, we did it 20 years ago when we built the world's first in-game advertising network with Massive. And now we've created a brand new advertising platform for the entire game industry, Rogies, or rewarded gamified interstitials. Rogies are a completely new ad platform which engages and rewards your players. And it doesn't matter if it's a free-to-play game or a premium game. The value of your games is high and in great demand by brands. We know that, you know that. So your returns have to be at a premium, and we guarantee that premium. Scuti works directly with quality brands which your players know, like, and wish to shop. So we created Rogies as the Super Bowl of games advertising, something your players actually look forward to at each level of their game. Let's take a look. After a year in beta testing and having served hundreds of thousands of daily active users, Scuti is player tested and approved. It puts the player first every single time. They earn rewards, they get curated products, they enjoy uninterrupted play, earn free game stuff, and the best part, they can take their earnings and rewards across any connected game. Our rewards are interoperable, and your player never leaves your game. We also generate enormous player data for all our game makers. This data is all based on permissions, which players share with us. We reward them for it, and they know that they'll receive the best deals and curated products from the brands they love and want to buy. All they have to do is tell us their gender, tell us the year they were born in, and we're going to curate the best products for them, the coolest products, the products that they want. What does this all mean for you? Well, it's a huge win for every single game maker. The revenue potential for this is unprecedented. That's why we created it. Not only do we improve the player experience and retain them longer, but we also earn completely new revenues from 3 sources. You've got gCommerce, or commerce through games. Now, the average cart size is around $115, right? That's what they're checking out. It's earning game makers like you $8.62 on every purchase. That goes into your pocket. For the first time ever, game makers are making more money from gCommerce. It's all accretive. You've also got the rewards program. Your players earn up to 5% of the retail back in the form of rewards. Let's just say an average of 2%. That gives you $2.30 that they're going to be spending in your game on virtual goods, if you have them, that is. Then there are rewarded ads. When linked to the Scuti store, you're earning the highest CPMs in the industry, and that is guaranteed. So in 1 month, with just one purchase, you're earning $14.12 on every player through Scuti. That is the better way. And that brings us to our guarantee. Scuti will increase your game ad revenue by at least 25%. We stand by that promise. We'll put your players first every time, and we optimize the lifetime value for every game, and we never remove your players from your game. In fact, we help you acquire new players as a result of the network effect. That's our promise to you. And then one last thing, we recognize that cash is king. And Scuti is a partner who is helping our game makers with cash flow and working capital. If you're waiting on ad companies or the stores for payments, these can take up to 60 days. Our partner, LenderWise, is helping game makers get their outstanding invoices or receivables paid upfront in days instead of months. That's another benefit of the Scuti network. I hope you'll join us. Thank you for your time.